Welcome to Authentic Wealth and Wisdom with Ty and Tamia, where we discuss wealth and wisdom of being authentic, mind, body, and spirit.
Yes, and today we are focusing on the throat chakra.
Mm-hmm.
So your throat chakra is obviously in your throat. It is focused on communication, and it is represented by like kind of like an aqua teal color
Mm-hmm.
blue. Um, and I kind of want to start there actually because I was thinking
Yeah.
about this before we started recording
Mm-hmm.
that the blue color like reminds me of water and how
Mm-hmm.
things are supposed to flow.
Yeah.
um and so when you think about communicating with people, it's supposed to be a flow of your words, a flow of your energy, a flow of your thoughts and your emotions. And so
Mm-hmm.
when it's blocked, it can cause a myriad of problems.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that's standing out the most to me right now is flow, and having flow
Mm-hmm.
with the way that we express ourselves. A lot of times we only have and this is with anything else as well, we only have our external world
Yeah.
as an example of how to communicate, and sometimes that hasn't been in the best way, if at all. Some of us have never seen our parents communicate, period, or communicate in a healthy way. And we're just repeating that narrative because we're not sure how else to get our point across.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
I want to add to what you said. You say it reminds you of water.
Mm-hmm.
It also reminds me of self-expression as
Mm-hmm.
well. A lot of things that we speak about is a form of self-expression because we're communicating things that are in our mind and sharing it with the world. Um, Sometimes, if we don't communicate what's going on here, it can cause a blockage, right? And when it causes a blockage, you kind of not gonna say shut down, but it can manifest into other things that can be dis-ease
Yeah.
within the voice
Mm-hmm.
because it's not a constant flow, because water needs to flow at a constant place to be spread out here and there. So when you're speaking, you're sharing that expression, your water, you're spreading your knowledge to other avenues.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think about like communicating,
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing that causes a lot of blockage for people when they are expressing themselves is fear that what they're saying won't be accepted or
Mm-hmm.
heard or understood.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me that was a problem for a long time, where I was in a situation where what I was saying was just not seen as important, and it did cause issues within my throat chakra. I know
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about like anxiety and things like that previously here, but I believe that that all started with my throat chakra. So again, when you're not expressing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
the energy gets blocked there. The gland or the organ, whatever it
Thyroid.
is your thyroid.
Yeah.
Your thyroid is in charge of balancing your hormones.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when your hormones are out of whack? It causes anxiety, and it can also cause irregular cycles and symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's how it manifested. It was a trickle down effect to the rest of
Mm-hmm.
my body. Again, if you've been here, we've been going up the chakra system. So
Mm-hmm.
my throat chakra is blocked because I'm not properly able to express myself. It's affecting my heart because I'm not expressing my feelings, and so I'm not able to have that ebb and flow of what communication looks like from one person to another. It's messing up my solar plexus
Mm-hmm.
because that's where my confidence is, and I'm unable to properly and confidently express how I'm feeling and what's happening in the moment. And then it's affecting obviously my sacral chakra
Mm-hmm.
because then my hormones are all out of whack and out of balance, so I'm having really bad cycles. And I just feel imbalanced overall, right?
Yeah.
Like, so literally that's just one example for me, a personal example of how that energy can affect you in multiple ways, and not just in one area.
Mhm.
And so it's so important for us to learn how to communicate, and not just communicate, but learn how to have conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution, and also learn this is also not just communicating, right? We also have to learn to listen so we can
Mm-hmm.
communicate effectively,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even when we're I'm so calm right now, y'all.
Same.
I'm so that's
Yeah.
literally how I feel.
Same.
Um just to add what Tamia said, she said that she didn't express herself as much, which caused her to have thyroid issues.
Mm.
Both of my parents actually have thyroid issues.
Wow.
I don't think my mom wanted me to share that, but my mom's is a lot milder than my dad's. My dad has had surgeries and all types of things that's correlated to
Mm.
the throat. But one thing I can tell you that my dad does a lot, he's very expressive,
So a little overactive.
maybe overactive. He can't hold
Mm.
water.
So then it would be like maybe hyperthyroidism.
Yes,
Mm.
and he has had situations where he's had to be on medication for a long period of time.
Mm.
So mind y'all, just shared that both of my parents have thyroid issues, right?
Mm.
Growing up, I did struggle to be like just open about maybe the things that was indifferent from the people that are around me and just
Mm.
openly expressing it and sharing it.
Mhm.
So for a period of time, like in my early 20s, I would keep a lot of stuff to myself. I wouldn't
Mhm.
really be, oh, this. And it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm.
In certain spaces, I would get the urge to speak, but
Mm.
because I wasn't in flow,
Mhm.
I wouldn't allow it.
Mm. You're creating your own
I was
blockage.
creating my own blockages,
Mm.
which then started to play like a part in my mental as well, because I always say your body is connected, for a reason, but this is actually, your brain, your neck, and then this is what you have. This is your vibration
Mhm.
to speak into the world and call back to you.
Yeah.
So if that's blocked, how can I speak of something and call it to myself if I'm not in flow?
Yeah. And you said something that just reminded me. You said that this is your vibration
Mm-hmm.
and we're creating flow, right? And we have to understand too the the depth in which we can heal ourselves
Mm-hmm.
by speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, your vocal cords are actually little, I'll call them, for the sake of the video, I'll call them like little rubber bands. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you talk, when you flick
Same.
them, they shake, they move, and they create an actual vibration. It creates a actual frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're speaking and it's in a certain energy, whether you are calm, whether you are angry, whether you are hurt, whatever it is, it creates a frequency. And sometimes it's necessary for us to release that.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have to be careful because that vibration is powerful. And as we've talked about in previous videos,
Mm-hmm.
the vibration that the frequency that you are at is what you will attract. And it is even more so powerful in our
Mm-hmm.
words because we don't understand a lot of the things that we say are spells, and they have so
Yeah.
much power and it manifests. So it's important to be conscious when we're communicating, whether with ourselves, because that's important too, to talk to yourself, to
Mm-hmm.
speak life into yourself, but as well as other people, of what energy am I putting out? What frequency am I creating with the vibration of my voice?
Mm-hmm.
Even if I want to heal myself, not only can I actually speak words of life into myself,
Mm-hmm.
but also there are certain sounds that you can hum
Mm-hmm.
that creates an actual frequency
Mm-hmm.
so that you can heal your body and balance that chakra. So if you're new to healing any part of your body, there are certain sounds that you can actually create on your own with your own vocal cords to help you get into balance, to where you can build enough confidence where you can then go out and speak the things that you need to and express
Mm-hmm.
yourself the way that you need to. Um, Even when it comes to singing and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
I've always found that very healing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because it's a frequency. I'm creating certain pitches, I'm creating certain sounds that make me
Mm-hmm.
feel a certain way so that I can embody certain energies. So there's so many
Yeah.
facets to the throat chakra
Yeah.
that it's like you have so many options on how to heal yourself. There are
Yes.
some, like we were saying yesterday at the women's circle,
Yeah.
like Tam was saying, there's so many modalities of medicine
Yes.
for you. It's just what medicine works
Right.
best for you. Is it singing? Is it speaking? Is it humming? What is it? What works for you?
Mm-hmm. And I just want to add to what you said. You know, our voice is a frequency. When you
Mm-hmm.
speak, it carries. It carries.
Yes.
Think about how think about when you need to be empowered, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, if I feel like I need to hear something that is motivational, I go listen to a motivational speaker.
Mm-hmm.
And those words alone can shift my way of thinking. It can
Yeah.
shift my atmosphere. It can shift whatever I'm feeling. So that alone should make a very heavy importance on how much vibration and power is in your throat.
Yeah.
Similar to what she said, I cannot sing, but when I'm in the shower, you can't tell me I ain't Aretha Franklin,
Period. And
Angie
is
Stone.
and
Rest
is
in rest in peace
R.I.P. to
to
Angie
Angie Stone.
Stone.
But you
My
can't
God, today.
tell me I'm
Yeah.
not her.
Yeah.
But I real like she said it. I realized that is my way of healing my throat. It's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes where I'm like, okay, you've been talking too much, and
Yeah.
I might,
Yeah.
I might go silent for the
Yeah.
rest. Ain't nobody did nothing,
Right. Yeah.
but I might
Same.
go silent for the rest of the day just
Mm-hmm.
because just as it's important for me to speak and to share my flow of knowledge and what's going through my body, I also understand the importance of listening and okay, I need to recharge this
Yeah.
because I can't overexert it. I
Mm-hmm.
want to have a flow to where it's enough for me to travel down this stream.
Yeah.
I don't want to burn out too quick.
Right. I want to go back to the conflict resolution, and you're talking about
Yeah.
flow, and we're talking about feelings, and we're talking about expressing ourselves, and also being vulnerable, because I think those
Yes.
are the two things that we have the most issues or the
Mhm.
most problems communicating, is when there is conflict or when there is something really vulnerable to say that makes us feel naked and
Mhm.
afraid. um and it's hard to overcome. It's not even something that you overcome, because even when I think about the word overcome, I think of like
A
you like
hill.
overtaking something, and you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
you taking it,
Yeah.
but it's like more so embodying,
Mhm.
right? And not running from conflict, because a lot of time when there's conflict, we either go silent and we go MIA, or we fight and we argue and we yell and we
Right.
lash out in anger, and then we end up saying things that we don't really mean, or things that weren't really well thought out. And again, that could be over an overactive
Mhm.
chakra. If you find yourself constantly lashing out whenever there's an issue, whenever you're triggered, and your immediate go-to is to yell or to cuss somebody out, that's a problem,
Right.
because that's not warranted in all things. I'm not saying let everybody try you, but what I am saying is that there is a time and a place for everything, and you need to give your body, your spirit, an opportunity to discern how you need to actually respond in the moment. And so you can, like you just said, listen and process,
Mhm.
because sometimes when we're triggered and we're angry, we hear something completely different from
Mhm.
what the person is actually saying. And since I've learned that whenever I am having a disagreement with my
Mhm.
partner,
Mhm.
there are moments in the conversation where I say, repeat back to me what you just heard me
Mhm.
say,
Mhm.
or vice versa. Because then you realize the thing that you're about to say has nothing to
Nothing to do
do
with
with
it.
what the
Nothing.
person just said,
Yes.
right? So you have to be able to take that time, take a moment in between, so you can really hear and listen, so you know how to respond correctly. And I
Mhm.
think we run from conflict too because it's uncomfortable. We all
Yeah.
feel a little bit of discomfort when there's conflict. And again, we haven't seen people properly resolve. Like, think
Mhm.
about it. When is the last time you saw a parent or a caregiver have a disagreement, but also settle it
Mhm.
peaceably
Right.
in that moment?
Right. What a conversation
The
with
word, the
words.
conversation, you may have like heard the beginnings of an argument or the beginnings of a disagreement, but when did you see the resolution?
Right.
A lot of the times we haven't, so we don't really have anything to go off of. The same with being vulnerable.
Mhm.
People aren't really open.
Yeah.
Again, think about your parents and your caregivers, the adults that are around us. I'm going back to that because we learned these things as children. They didn't
Mhm.
just randomly happen. We've learned it from somewhere. When is the last time you've been, when someone has said to you,
Mhm.
that really hurt my feelings, or actually I kind of feel really insecure about that. Where's my,
Right.
I don't really have any confidence in
Right.
that area. And there's no shame and there's no
Right.
judgment,
Yes.
because maybe we've seen someone be vulnerable, but then immediately after we saw it be shamed and judged and shunned and someone called weak and everything else, when in actuality, that vulnerability needed to be
Embraced.
embraced.
Exactly. I love ooh, I love her.
I love you.
um and I think I said I love her because she is one of those people that I have learned a lot from when it comes to
Mm,
speaking and
mm,
vulnerability.
mm,
Um a lot of times we speak about self-expression, right?
mhm,
But a lot of times I didn't feel comfortable self-expressing.
mm. Yeah.
So it was always, and even as I'm saying that, it's getting emotional
Mm.
because vulnerability needs to happen.
Yes,
It needs to happen.
it's necessary.
I have grown to understand that you can have a conversation after this and this has been said, but it has
Mhm,
to be a space that is created for you to feel vulnerable and safe so you can
mhm.
express whatever it is
Yeah,
that you need to express.
yeah.
You know, in some cases it's not about um I don't understand.
Right,
It's
right.
just about allowing that
Yeah.
person to get it out.
Yes.
Because as we walk this journey, everybody has a different experience.
Mhm,
Everybody has a different way of expressing, you
mhm.
know?
Yeah,
But I can learn just as much just by creating that space and not coming
yeah.
from a place of judgment and I don't this and not placing a label on
Right.
the conversation before it even ignites itself.
Yes, because then you're unconsciously manifesting. Yeah.
Yes, you're predicting what's going to happen instead of
Mhm.
allowing it to flow.
Yeah.
You can get as much resolve with a conversation in a space that is cultivated on love and unjudgment. That's what I'm going to call it,
Mm.
unjudgment. You
Mhm.
can get everything out if the space is created. But I realize within myself, I will hold back if I'm not to that place. And
Yeah.
what is that doing for me and
Right.
my expression?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
shutting me down,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So now I'm having like all these imposter thoughts
Mhm. Mhm.
because I'm like I'm talking and it's going this way, but I'm really trying to just go this way.
Right.
But when
Right.
that atmosphere was created,
Mhm.
the safeness, the vulnerability, the I'm not labeled, you can
Yeah.
just speak.
Just yeah.
It allowed me to be okay with what I'm doing. And I actually felt a lot more confident
Exactly.
to speak, whether this person know what I'm talking about or not.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But vulnerability is important when it comes to self-expression and speaking.
Mhm.
And like we say all the time, like you are heard,
Mhm.
you are felt.
Mhm.
Somebody needs to hear what you have to say for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So share,
Yes.
share. What we doing is an inspiration to y'all, but it took us a lot of to get here.
Yeah. Literally. And it's so funny that you said that, because that has been and still is
Mm,
sometimes one of the hardest things for me to get over,
yeah.
is wanting to be understood.
Hmm.
That's always like my number one that just really
Turns like you be like
yeah,
ah.
because there's such a, and that's an inner child thing, right? The
Hmm.
desire to be understood, to be heard, to be whatever it
Yeah.
is. um and so sometimes I have to remind myself, oftentimes I
Hmm.
have to remind myself that everybody number one, is not going to understand you.
Yeah.
Two, nor do they don't have
Mhm.
to.
Mhm.
You won't always be understood, and there are people that are just hell bent on misunderstanding
Yes.
you, no matter what you say, no matter how you say it. It just is what it is. But like you said, you have to create an environment, you have to create a space for
Yes.
vulnerability to happen. And so I have to first create that within myself, which has helped me build my confidence over the years
Yes.
of being more vulnerable, because I've been able to create it on my own
Mhm.
and been able to be okay with how I feel
Yeah.
and how I think, without fear, without judgment,
Yeah.
without shame, and then that just being enough. Like
Yes.
me knowing what I know about me, good or bad,
Mhm.
expressed to myself, is enough.
Yeah.
Being able to be honest with myself and speak to myself is enough sometimes.
Yes. All the time. Not
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, all the
All
time.
the time.
Yeah,
Because you're not, a line don't stay the same.
true.
So all the time.
Yeah.
Just like you said, it's a time and it's a place. It's a time to rest. It's the
Mhm.
time to speak.
Mhm.
It's a time to be quiet. It's a
Yeah.
time to work. It's a
Mhm.
time to harvest.
Yes.
So in all seasons, you are enough
Yeah.
in that order.
Yeah.
And if they feel like if you feel like, correction, if you feel like you're not heard, create the space.
Mhm.
Sometimes that space starts with you. Like,
Mhm.
I talk to myself all the time.
Same.
It's to the point, it's to the point my friend, she be like, "You talking to me?" I'm like, "No, I'm just,
You all right over there?
yeah, you are right over there." But that is a form of self expression. Like,
Yeah.
it's healing for me, even though no one's listening outside of me and my ancestors.
Mhm.
But it's still helping me. It's joyous,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I can be whatever I want to be. Because sometimes when I'm saying stuff, I'm in a spirit. Sometimes I'm dancing, I'm cooking, I'm saying off the wall stuff. But
Yeah.
it's so healing to me. It
Mhm.
make me feel good,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It make me feel safe to like be like, all right, I'm this, I'm that. Even in the process of me being alone and I'm speaking to myself, I don't always I literally say a lot of stuff out loud. So I just be like, you a bad bitch.
And is.
I be saying that like, girl,
And
you is
is.
tea.
Yeah, you have to affirm yourself.
But all of those things literally helps me embrace the parts of me that I'm still merging together.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And it's healing for me. Like,
It
I've
is.
never been able to talk, especially on camera, and just be like,
Mm.
I'm expressing and
Yeah.
be okay with it.
Right.
I delete the video, come back, or this, all types of stuff.
Yeah.
But I had to figure out the space, the
Mhm.
people, the vulnerability.
Right.
And also, vulnerability is not something that everybody's comfortable with.
True.
I had to grow comfortable with
You
that.
do. You have to build it. It don't just happen overnight.
It
You have to
don't.
build it.
It don't. And
Yeah.
looking back from where I used to be, girl, vulnerability where?
Yeah.
But I'm proud.
Mhm.
I'm proud to be in this space, to be able to
Absolutely.
speak, to have this conversation, to share it.
Yes.
It
I know. It feels so good.
feels so good.
It feels so good. So
Look at the sun. Look, you
I
see it.
know
You
the
see
sun is coming in on
it.
us. It's just so beautiful. But I challenge all of the
Hmm.
listeners to be more mindful, be more introspective about your words. There's actually, that just made me think of the section in Sacred Woman, Queen of Fua, of,
Hmm.
I think it's called Impeccable Words. Be impeccable with your
Your words.
words.
It makes me think about the four agreements too,
Yeah,
because that's one of them. Be impeccable
well, with
with
your
your
words.
words.
Yeah, so just be mindful of how you are speaking, the way in which you're speaking, the tone in which you are speaking, the words that you're saying. And again, understanding how much power your words have. Even these words that I'm speaking to you right now have so much power, and it is a frequency, it is an energy that is penetrating a certain part of your mind and your spirit, whether you feel it or not, because you're allowing it into
Mm-hmm.
your energetic space. You're allowing it into your ear gates. And
Mm-hmm.
so we are constant, our brains are constantly receiving things consciously and unconsciously and subconsciously.
Yeah.
And so that's how powerful things are. These words are seeds at one point. These words can be water at another point. These words can be sun at another point, or it could be rain, or you could create a storm. That's literally how things work. When
Yeah.
they say, when they used to tell us as kids, and it was such a damn lie, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
They lied.
A lie from the very pit of hell that I don't even believe in no more. But like, bones heal. Bones heal,
Yes.
but words stay with you forever,
Forever.
forever. Because everything that we face today, every hardship that we faced, it is because of something that someone has said to
Mm-hmm.
us,
Mm-hmm.
directly or indirectly.
Yep.
And it has resonated with us and stuck with us. That's how
Yeah.
powerful words are. So, again, be mindful and be impeccable with your words.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you are talking too much. And I know we are in the era of professional yappers.
Mm-hmm.
But in being a professional yapper, it should be empowering yapping. It should be constructive yapping.
Mm.
It should be yapping that brings resolution,
Yeah.
not just aimless, idle talk just to be talking.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Yeah.
bringing joy? Is it bringing happiness? Is it bringing fun? Is it bringing enlightenment? Is it bringing
Yeah.
you closer? Is it creating vulnerability? Is it creating compassion? Is it creating peace? What are you creating when you speak? Because you are literally creating a world when you talk, when you speak. Again, these words are spells.
Yeah.
You're creating. Something is flowing from you.
Mm-hmm. And when we talking about the words, like a lot of us don't understand. Like when we say I can't, your body, you're communicating the word. First of all,
Yes.
can't is not even a word in my book. In my book, just like I don't know if you ever heard of the Medea movie when they be like, a can't should never love and basketball. Can't should never be in a man's vocabulary. Can't is not even a word because once you say can't, your body, your mind start to do everything that you said you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And also to add how powerful words are. Think about the music that we listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I go weeks without listening to anything because I know that's a direct download into my brain. And then I in my mind, it's a mantra. So it's constantly playing and I'm constantly saying and if that song gets me hype like the drill music we got, I'm literally speaking self-hexing words over myself in that moment. Sometimes you have to take a step back and cut those things off so you can really, really, really say words that pour into you. I like to use this analogy when I say you don't yell at a flower and tell it to grow.
Mm-hmm.
You speak to it. You speak life into it. You don't say like a coach, yeah, you need to hurry up and do this. You say, you're beautiful. You grow.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to bloom.
Yeah. Yeah. You're thriving.
You're
You're
thriving.
strong.
Yes.
Your roots are deep.
Yes, so deep.
All the things.
Your petals, it's spring, it's fresh, it's new. It reminds you of how you should take care of yourself.
Yes.
It
Yes.
reminds you of how to take care of yourself.
Yes. How to speak to yourself so you
Yes.
can thrive. You can
Yes.
speak life into yourself every single day.
Yes. And I love that you said the words, you know, the words that somebody told us, that's really the obstacles that's in front of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's certain things in my childhood that, was said to me that I still could hear in the back of my head, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
And as I grow older and come into who I am now, because this is different, this looks different, I have to learn how to detach myself from that word thought that was placed upon me.
Yeah.
And I have to hear other things. So when that thought comes, I do say out loud, like, that's not you.
Mm-hmm. Because it don't belong to you.
It don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna start saying. It do not belong to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is new.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
Yes.
and everything that I need is already to come. Even when I have zero, I still have a lot to come.
Period. Literally abundance.
Yes.
It's all about what you speak.
It's all about what you speak. Think about when you hugging someone, like even now I'm putting my hands over my chest, you can hear my vibration.
Mhm.
You can feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think of it as like a guitar, like a instrument
Mm.
that you're playing. It carries so much. It's so powerful that, like I said, other people want to join in and listen. They
Yeah.
want to hear those tunes, you know?
Right.
So your voice is your tunes
Mm.
to connect, your
Yeah.
tunes to, let other people listen. It's
Yes.
music,
It is.
when
It is. It's a
acapella,
song. Yeah. It's a song.
we added the beat. We didn't need the beat.
Mhm. That's so true. I like that, friend.
Add the beat, need
Yeah.
the
Ate that
beat.
up. Period. This has been another episode of Authentic Wealth and Wisdom with Ty and Tamia.
Tamia.
Make sure that you like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. Thank you endlessly for your support. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. We
Mm,
will see you in the next episode. Peace.
peace.